welcome to Smokey Reacts. And on this one, we are back to continue working on this Lippy's living room. This is episode 5. Everybody's views matter. Thank you for stopping by. If you could please hit that like and subscribe. Let's get into this one. Let's see what Lippy got for us today.
Nah, man, just got back to. Yo, bro. Yeah, nah, man, just got back to my yard now, blood. Bro. But I know it's gonna sound hypocritical, but bad man, no watch no podcast, pussy. Come off my phone. Yo, listen. Podcast people. First of all, good evening. I'm on such a pump. I even say good evening to my guests in the living room tonight. Hello. I hope you're okay. Are you okay? I'm not okay. Why am I not okay? Because every time I go on my phone or open up my YouTube or my PlayStation, podcast. Everywhere is podcast. Come into the living room to speak to the people. My brethren's on the phone talking about Rob. You watch the podcast. People, listen. I understand it's social media and everybody's got something to say. Everybody's views. I want this. The title of this episode is Everybody's Views Matter. I'm on an all lives matter thing when it comes to opinions. But shut the fuck up now though. Please. It's too much. We got 75 podcasts speaking about same thing. I get it. You lot know Lippy through podcasts. How can I chat shit about podcasts? My fridge is empty. I was about to say my fridge won't be empty if it weren't for, but I got cheese in there. If I didn't do podcasts, I probably wouldn't have no cheese in my fridge. And I wouldn't, you get me? When I borrow bread from my neighbor, it wouldn't be cheese on toast. It'd just be toast. Because of podcast, it could be cheese on toast. So big up the podcast then. But shut the fuck up. Please, we got Twitter. Most man that got podcasts, you're on social media anyway, saying your views. So why you gotta go on camera and say them as well? I really need to know. That's why man do living room. I just set up the camera in my yard and just chat some shit sometimes. Cause shit is too serious out here, man. You got man telling their life story on 7 different podcasts. And the life story changes, bro. On the podcast with the gal them, I ain't even gonna draw certain man out. He's just gonna know I'm talking about him. You man are old, stop doing the fucking podcast thing. I'm old. I only speak about certain things. I speak about what I believe is necessary. Certain man saying the same jail story on 7 different podcasts. Allow it, bro. It's too much, fam. Certain man are telling their story on their own podcast. Then they're doing it on Instagram story, telling the story again. Then they're going on the next podcast and the next podcast to say the same fucking story. Shut the fuck up. You got certain man that'll sit on podcasts with gal in cardigan, chatting shit. See them on the block.
In cardigan.
Black man, you know. Chatting shit.
Black man,
I get
you know.
it, bro. I get that everybody wants to talk.
Black man can't pun fall again.
Certain man never got to show the world that they're gangsters. So they have to talk about it. Me, I put a do-rag on to cover my hairline even. A dressing gown on to cover my little chicken.
A dressing gown. That's not called a
I
robe?
don't believe I have anything else to prove. But certain man pushing 40, 47 is sitting on podcasts chatting shit. Certain gal is sitting on podcasts chatting shit. I don't even like getting onto gal too tough because gal are pretty, gal got breasts, gal are better than us, innit? So I ain't even gonna talk about them too tough. But the man them, bro, do a living room, bro. Do a living room, fam. Fuck the podcasting. Everyone do a living room now. Just get a camera, 10-minute episode max. Chat your shit and come out of there. Go back to your yard, bad. Bun a spliff. Car. The whole trying to reinvent your gangster through podcasting, I think is problematic. Then anyone you see me on a podcast with, they're the proper podcast people, innit? Certain idiots are bucked, unfortunately, but they're the podcast guys, innit? Everyone else, brother, yo, there's a podcast, yeah? It's not even a podcast. Man, them telling their sad stories. Oh my God, like, I ain't even gonna give no one no promo, but there's a podcast. I like this podcast. It's like, baby fathers go on there. Baby fathers go on there, and I'm a baby father. It's like, I watched it. Blood, some of the shit, the man them are lying. Man them's lying. That's another thing, bro. We're lying on the podcast, bro. So just don't go on there, bro. Don't go, man are trying to reinvent themselves. Man are going on there saying, their baby mum cheated on them and bro, love letter. Bro, no, bro. Fuck the oversharing of information. I've done it sometimes. I've sat on certain podcasts, it's just like, and I had diarrhea all week, and it's like, rah, man, just telling everybody that I had runny doo-doo, and it's live. Man can't even go back. Man can't even say, yo, edit up. You see me? It's just they got the footage. And I think some people, you need to have them thoughts. Understand what you're telling a man sometimes. Understand what you're telling a man. I see certain man sit on the podcast,
I've been just letting this nigga get off because I'm just like, hey, that nigga just, it's the shit I be trying to tell niggas. I just be trying to tell niggas, no need to try and be too tough. Like, people go through shit, and shit's not always up for niggas. Like, yo, life is a fucking roller coaster. Hold on tight, and can you make it to the end of the goddamn ride? Man. And I told you, you niggas be out here lying, bro. Like, now if you gonna lie and just stand on a lie and be like, yeah, that's my double standard and a lie, I got no problem with it. No problem. Most of you niggas ain't doing that.
Baby mom cheated on me with 7 man, sucked dick, still had things on her lip, come back, kiss my face, red tail, got herpes. Bro, don't do it, bro. It's dead. Just say a bad thing happened and we will use our imagination for the rest. Like Lippy's living room, I don't tell you certain things. I don't go into certain things. I just say it was a mad thing, got mashed up, I got nicked. Use your imagination. If you want to go all the way to the left, you go there. You want to go all the way to the right, you go there. But if you're giving specific mad things about how your wife cheated on you in this restaurant, it's long, bro. You're setting yourself up for failure, and you're 37. Youth them. Let's have some podcasts from the youth them. The youth them ain't got nothing to say. And when I say podcast, I'm not talking about the thing where you're all sitting in the room and there's 3 men sitting here and then 2 men sitting behind. It's like, who drinks the most alcohol? Oh, it's me. No, it's not you. Brother, for real conversation. But everyone have something to say. Say your thing. Don't let all us old people just be talking about everything Brexit or whatever. You lot must have things to say, man. There's only so much us old guys could speak about what we used to do. Another thing, if you got a podcast about something, that don't mean you're an expert on that said thing. But I'm seeing man that can't even sprint, thinking they're football pundits, rude boy. Rude boy, I will chase you myself, and I'm not even fit. And you're sitting there talking about raw. Why is he playing that formation? But shut the fuck up, man. We're fans. We are all fans of life. You get me? If you got a podcast, you're not that guy to a certain extent. Hence why you're sitting there talking about it. And I'm not, this ain't me rubbing you out. I'm one of them people myself. I have a podcast and we talk about things that we're fans of, not things that we're in. Don't get it twisted. There's certain men that used to be in things, so they might be able to speak about it with a little bit more experience. But if you're a podcaster now, you're a podcast. Let's embrace it, bro. I know I just called you lot pricks and I just...
Yeah, that's why I be showing love.
Embrace it though, bro. Don't be a gangster podcaster or a bad B, I get all the man podcaster, because you're not. You're on a podcast. You're chatting shit. You're sitting there. You come somewhere, paid people to record you. They don't even know who the fuck you are, cuz. We need to be honest. Nobody asks you. Certain man sit in the podcast like, what's all these cameras doing here? I'm just having a conversation with my friend. Shut the fuck. No, bro. You paid for him. You pay. You know. Bro, please. Let's have some positive podcasts, bro. Let's have some podcast, funny podcast. Not every podcast has to be about body count. Not every podcast has to be about who should pay for dating. Not every podcast needs to be about what you think of the drill rappers. Not every podcast needs to be about how you conducted yourself in prison and how certain men should conduct themselves in prison. Let's just move on from certain things. Get a living room. Certain man 37 years old and I don't have a yard for have living room, but they've got about 3 podcasts. Get your fucking priorities straight.
How you got 3 podcasts and you can't get the living room?
Shut the fuck up. Stop treating the cameraman like you never paid him to come there. And let's end it on a positive note. Big up all the podcasts that I like. I ain't gonna plug any of you, can fuck up free promo. But there's a lot of good podcasts. But unfortunately, there's way more shit ones and they need to shut the fuck up. Why am I not mentioning names? Because some of the men that do these shit podcasts are strong. I don't want to fight them. Just because you're shit at podcasts, don't mean you can't fight. That's one thing we all learn. That's one thing I learned one day somehow. And that's for another episode of Lippy's Living Room. If you're thinking of starting a podcast, don't watch the podcast them that already exist. And yeah, just watch them and wait till they're done. Cause everybody, how much things have we got to say? How many episodes? Shut the fuck up. There's only certain things you can talk about. Go away. Shut the fuck up. Have a good night, everyone. Lippy's living room.
Hey, this nigga Lippy a fool. But that's true, at least for the podcast. Like, certain people have really good podcasts. Some people just have like, I can't be bothered. That's why, like, if I can sit and listen to your podcast, I might have something, might be special. Like, what is it, Filthy Fellas? They got a good little setup. I don't know enough football yet to fully be like tapped into that shit. Like, once I know more, maybe I could be like super tapped in. But yeah. Shout out to Lippy. More of these coming. I see you guys on the next one. I'm out of here.